Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Ken Bozak.
All right, and we're live.
You know what it is.
Hello. Welcome, everyone.
And welcome to Not Another Bitcoin Podcast.
Three amigos.
Another ETH Denver guest. We have a couple lined up from ETH Denver throughout the rest of this month. So I guess we could just jump right into it. Trislit, if you want, introduce yourself. Maybe start with kind of who you are, how you got into crypto, and what you're doing now in this space.
All right. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I've been in crypto for a long time. I started Bitcoin in like 2013, 2014. At that point, I was working like institutional IT stuff. At that point, it was, clients getting actually hacked, having viruses, and then all the guys asked for ransom wanted it in Bitcoin. So I was sort of forced to learn more like how to get Bitcoin and transfer it because I had people from other countries demanding it to give access back. But yeah, once
what was that? WannaCry. I was trying to think of the name. WannaCry virus.
Yeah, the worm stuff. Oh, you'd log into your computer in the morning and everything would just be locked. It's like, hey, you want the password? It'll be $500 in Bitcoin sent to this address. Yeah. It's like good times.
They got hospitals, police stations, schools, airports. They got a lot. It was called WannaCry if you guys want to look into it. But I digress, Tristan. Go ahead.
Dude, stuff like that was really like early on, especially for people who weren't into the space already. Like that was one of those like trial by fire things where you just had to, it's like, yeah, you better figure it out quick or you're about to get fired because this is like these people are panicking. Like you got to figure it out. So it was a good intro to it. It also kind of, that's where people get this bad taste where it's all criminals and drug dealing stuff, right? Like, well, what else are you gonna do with it? Look what they did. Like,
right.
So it's interesting, right? So that was like how I got started, but I didn't really get into it till probably 2016, and that's when I had a computer and I was able to start mining Ethereum and stuff. I was already past the point where I couldn't really mine Bitcoin. Honestly, even at that point, it was already starting to get to the point where it wasn't worth the electricity costs. So it wasn't as exciting. But Ethereum, on the other hand, I was early enough that I was able to mine some Bitcoin over Ethereum with my gaming laptop. So,
Fire. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that was like, that allowed me to like get in early on the original DAO, buy some stuff, get rugged on that, and
Damage. We all been there, huh?
yeah, it's it's good because it's like, I lost like $50, but it was a good time to learn it instead of losing thousands later on, right? It's like, oh no, what happened? But so yeah, it's if you got to lose it, like lose it quick, so you learn your lesson, right, and move on before you're like making it.
Yeah.
But yeah, then like 2017 is when things started getting really bigger. I joined Decentraland and their ICO was trying to help build up some stuff, and that's got me into the gaming side of things. I
Mhm.
got early in on crypto voxels and some other stuff. At that point, I bought
Big
a couple
fan of
crypto
voxels.
punks. Yeah, like that's when it was all fun. You could trade, $5, you could go buy a crypto punk and you could sell it, flip it for $15 a month later. You could, right? That's when it was fun, engaging, goofy stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Gary V didn't have his cabal meeting yet.
oh yeah. No, that was coming later, actually. Actually, well, I'll get to that because it was with that the first couple of years, it was 2018, 2019. Yeah, so I was doing that, just playing on my own, doing my stuff. Around 2019, though, I met some other guys, Jimmy and Rizzle and Nate Alex, and those like that group and Pranksy. Some of that got like there was this whole collective of wanting to do like educational stuff. So we started a group called Token Smart, which originally was meant to be like educational community, trying to get people in. Everybody was getting rugged left and right. So we started that in 2019. You can actually join it. It's discord.gg/NFT that drops you into the community. Uh, yeah, so with that, we started doing like events. We got a lot of musicians and artists. Cool. What wasn't seeing like, oh man, this is gonna rug you, or this is like, oh, they hired somebody who doesn't know what they're doing to write these contracts. You should stay away from it. We were trying to play that role, but it kind of got out of control real quick at that time because yeah, it was a cool mission. It got really hard to keep it going for a while, but yeah, after that I helped with because Jimmy he's did the Avastars project. If you saw that one, that was an early NFT. It's an NFT project, but it was the first one that all the data itself is on Ethereum,
Oh, wow. So
which
it's
was
not like
really
a
expensive.
pinata cloud kind of vibe.
Right. Yeah, it's not an IPFS. It's actually the SVG files themselves were uploaded to Ethereum, which when we did it, well, I think we launched it 2020 or 20 it was hundreds of thousands of dollars to upload SVGs directly to Ethereum. I mean, there's a reason you use IPFS.
Right. No, for sure. But I mean, it makes it more of what it's supposed to be, immutable, censorship resistant, and all that. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
if it's IPFS, it's just like one subpoena away from being an error 404.
Yeah. Now that's being in some of those projects was like extreme. Like I still think of it as like a big, like internally, like I think it was an incredible thing to be part of. It's like not everybody cares. It's very technical why it matters, and that's when you see people's eyes glaze over pretty quick
How do you
most of
think
the
the
time.
guys
But
feel who developed like Java and
right,
HTML5 and shit? They're like, I made C++, plus plus. Nobody cares. It's all like,
right.
it's none of that that gets any of the appreciation, unfortunately, in any industry. But I think because of the monetary side of things, the incentive to learn how to use all this stuff is on the table. Like we used to all be coders when MySpace let us do whatever we wanted with our profile. Now,
Right.
if you can kind of do that again and get back into coding, you can just like use digital alchemy and manifest money out of ones and zeros. So the incentive is back on. Like I think kids are going to be back into majority coder mode like we all were back in like the early 2000s. All of us knew HTML5. We just didn't
Oh
know
yeah.
what we were doing. We just did it.
Right.
I
Right.
think that was the biggest thing that made MySpace cool, as opposed to Facebook. Facebook was
Yep.
trying to be the walled garden where it's like, here's what you're allowed to do. and here's what you're not. MySpace, they didn't have that. You do whatever
It
the
was
hell you
Apple
want.
to Android.
It's like, for better or for worse, man. You remember all the flashing like epileptic seizure causing like pages and the crazy goofy music people just you'd be forced to listen to if you wanted to see their profile. Oh yeah,
Yep.
good and bad, right? It's like- but yeah, so actually after Avastars, we formed NFT 42. Jimmy went and we actually joined Outliers Ventures and we got funding for that. So we ended up getting a lot of money. And Gary V actually hired us and we built the V Friends
Respect.
platform. And so we built the platform for it. Frankie Nines was our creative director. He did all the backgrounds for, Gary would draw the things and then we did all the technical back end stuff, right? Rarity
Okay.
stuff, like setting up the things. Like that's why the color, all the backgrounds are different, even though the front drawings are the same. Frankie Nines did all the artwork for that, and I did a lot of the contract generation stuff and the minting platform and the caching stuff because that was when he said go mint my V friends. That was the craziest project I've ever been involved with because it was like I think my math, it was something like we spent almost $125,000 on Azure like front end cache services.
Hey,
Wow.
Like we had so many
hey.
people hit the server so fast, it just hit mint, 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 mint like that. It was like tens of millions of
And
like
to see where
things
he'd
coming in.
come with those, because I got some of those physical cards, and I got one or two of them graded. Actually, I got like a 10 somewhere.
Yeah, it was cool working with him. He's an interesting cat. Like, he's got a cult of personality thing around him and stuff. Like he's an interesting guy. He's a business guy. He knows what he's
I got
doing
to
and
meet
he's
him
like
in
he wants it
person a
hard.
few times.
Yeah.
The last time I seen him was at the last VCon, and
Yeah.
he was just walking by with a group, saw me, and it was like, Ken. I'm like, no fucking way, you know who I am. And he was like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
da, da, da. And I was like, dude, like, thanks for the invite, because like, I don't know who ran his socials, but like they invited me. Like if it was his account, he invited me. Like, I was like, oh shit, maybe he did actually invite me. Maybe he did the like because he pointed at me, knew me. We took a picture together. We chatted up for like a half hour, and then I think he handed me off to Flavor Flav. I'm pretty sure that's what
Nice.
happened.
Dude, it's fun when you
Sure.
get into those circles because they really are like I remember he immediately because with him once we got V Friends going, he actually brought in Sound Ventures, which is Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. That's their investment
Mhm.
company. So they
Stoner
came in, they
Cats,
invested in us. Oh yeah, we were part of the Stoner Cats thing. They were
big
Snoop
fan.
Dogg's agent talked to us. So we actually did it was called the Pop Tart Cat, right? With the I Am Guitar Man, Neon Cat. He had a
Neon Cat.
yeah, we made Neon Dog. So we had like the pop but it was a Snoop Dogg like Pop Tart with the
Oh, that's
rainbow coming
fire.
out. You know,
Hell yeah.
but that
That's pretty.
was so we kept getting projects like that. It was really cool, so it was fun being right in the middle. I'm always been the back end developer guy, so like my job was building stuff and we had Sotheby's when Sotheby's did their first one. My job was to get custody procedures in place for how I could provide a protected endpoint where the NFT will sit that would an insurance company would provide insurance for while we sat on it. Because we had an alien punk which sold for $25 million. We had Quantum, which was the name coin first NFT that was, so we were custodying all those
What
NFTs
did you
while
use that was safe enough to get insured through a Sotheby's auction? Like, was it like a Tangent wallet or with multi-sig
yeah,
or what?
I had set up a multi-sig for each individual item, and then I had one of the sign-offs was actually a company in Japan that provided insurance, but they had to have one of the sign-off keys so that when we did proposal ones, when we ingested it, I had to have a whole custody form where I would talk to them. We'd get like facial recognition, so you weren't allowed to move
Oh
it
shit, dude.
until I talked to the buyer. Because a lot of the buyers who bought it, it wasn't the buyer. They'd be like, talk to my secretary.
Wow.
Wow.
So I
I've always made
like,
jokes about how expensive physical art is to transport and store and insure, and I never thought that that would apply to like an NFT auction as well. Like it
Yeah.
makes sense. It makes sense logistically. I get it, but I never thought. I was like, yeah, it takes money to physically, encase the physical painting, transport the physical painting, store the physical painting, and I guess you had to do all that physical stuff with the digital asset.
I did, yeah, before again, nobody would give us insurance if you don't if you can't do that, you're not going to get insured. And some of
It
these
makes
assets,
sense.
I'm
I
like,
just never thought about that.
yeah,
Like, wow. I was
I-
like, yeah,
So it's one of
just
the advantages.
MetaMask. Fuck it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's always been one of the advantages of NFTs. Like that's how one of its selling points is that you can send it to anyone in the world, almost free and without having to worry about it getting damaged. It can get its value.
oh yeah. Well, the real problem is that the like, somebody would buy it, and what the conversation I would have, especially if it was somebody who had never had an NFT before, because some of the
Oh,
guys who bought
true.
those, it was Sotheby's. So, I'm
Here's
like,
my
okay, this is a
Coinbase
trusted,
address. Just send it here. Or here's my
exactly.
Binance wallet.
So I definitely had some weird conversation where I'd have to call up and, it'd have to be like, okay, I'm going to walk you through creating a wallet. Like, I'm going to send I'm going to, like, I minted some goofy NFTs. I'm like, I'm going to send you one of these, then send it back to me. They're like, why do I have to do this? I'm like, because I want to make sure you've backed up your keys and you know how to send it. Like, I'm
Damn,
going to
that's awesome.
kick myself if I send you this alien punk and then you call me back because you can't send it out because you didn't copy your key down. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
you can't
Well,
just
you've
call up the
been
bank
behind
and
the
say
scenes.
reset my password.
Is that slowing down or is it linear? Has it, gone like what's sort of like the vibes? Because, working behind the scenes with all that stuff, is there still behind the scenes work to be done, or are
I think this,
NFTs dead? Are RWAs going to bring life back to it?
I think RWAs are actually a really cool tech. I don't see a lot of people doing like useful stuff. I'm working on a couple projects that are cool, but it's like it's really hard. Like the idea, the idea makes sense. You want like, okay, it's like I want it to connect to a physical thing, but I'm like, well, how are you going to do that? How are you going to prove that it actually is connected? Like what a tangible benefit am I going to get? Because if you don't have that, it's just another NFT, right? Like,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I'll let Double
And-
O take the floor because he's got one of the best tangible NFT concepts.
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So when you come get a tattoo from Double O Tats, you get a certificate of authenticity that is a digital image, a picture of the tattoo on a certificate, and then I mint that certificate as an NFT on the blockchain. So that we're making a real world asset, minting it on the blockchain. Is that the same type of vibe you're talking about?
yeah, yeah. You need like, I mean, it helps a lot if you have the original artist actually doing it, right? But now you're in the
I,
same
I am the
realm
original
as,
artist.
you're
I,
right.
I, I am the
So
original
that
artist.
like, yeah, you can do that, which actually is really cool if you're willing to do that extra step. I sometimes when I talk to people, it's like one step beyond, like they bought something from you
Yeah,
and then they're trying to do that. And I'm like, you can't do that. You're not the original. Well, I
Uh,
guess you probably could legally if you hired the right
that's kind of
lawyer.
how I felt about like some of the people who were buying one of one physical art and they were burning it after taking a picture of it and minting it. And I'm like you bought a Banksy, but then you destroyed it because you took a picture of it and you minted it as an NFT. But the mint address, the ENS, isn't Banksy, so it's not a
Yeah,
Banksy. It's a at worst it's a print of a print.
damn it.
But
man,
if
that's
I think if Banksy were to actually take a picture of a piece of art that he destroyed and mint it with his original ENS in the metadata, I feel like that would have some weight to it. Like you say, it matters if the artist is actually clicking the button.
it's actually I have one example of when I was in the middle of that whole thing. Actually, one project I worked with, it was Sir Tim Berners-Lee. He's the father of the internet. He created the first browser, and he minted the source code for that browser. And I worked with him, and I actually, because we wrote the contracts for him, we were trying to, and I talked to him. He's older now, and he's got some medical things, so it was an interesting call. But we were trying to do it, and it was cool talking to him because he's just a really interesting, like big for in a nerdy way, he's a big, big, big name, It's like so this was like an actual like cool nerdy celebrity. But when I was talking to him, like I helped him set up a wallet, and then I was talking about like, okay, if we're gonna mint this thing, it needs to come from Sir Tim Berners-Lee. We need to create an ENS address. So I walked him through signing up with his old hacker alias, with a ENS name. I'm like, I'd sign it to this wallet because when you mint it, I want the chain to say it minted from this name. Like anybody who actually cares enough to look into this better see your name on the minting like endpoint.
mm, mm.
So I
Somebody was,
remember
yeah.
like
Come on.
this is the extra work that needs to go in for it to matter to me. Again, like not everybody cares, but those who do, are going to call you out if you haven't done your homework, right? Like, you
Well, I
know
mean,
that.
it reflects in
Hmm.
traditional art as well. Like, I mean, Mona Lisa herself isn't as famous, as some, or I guess like she is. I shouldn't say that because she, but like, I guess like the people in paintings aren't as famous as the painters who painted them, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
whoever clicks the button is the artist, and I think that attests to the the value of who created it rather than who inspired it. So
Yep.
like getting him to create the ENS, getting him to click the button, like that is the paintbrush in the hand, the keyboard under the fingers. That makes it more visceral, adds more true value in a space where things aren't tangible. That link of tangibility has so much value.
I
Yeah.
get that. I get that. But I got two things I want to mention. One, I don't agree that Mona Lisa or Leonardo da Vinci is more famous, more recognizable
That's
than
why I
Mona
say,
Lisa.
well, her name's in the painting, so it's not. If the painting was named "Smiling Woman," nobody would have known her name. Okay, is what I'm trying to
Right,
get
right,
at. That's why I was like, it's a
right, right,
bad example.
right. But I also somebody was just telling me about making an ENS like a double O tats dot ENS, so that way like that would be like my actual identity on the internet type vibe. Is
I
that what
will
that is?
tell you, you should have
Yeah.
never have said that shit out loud until you actually bought it. You're gonna learn so much getting into crypto, bro.
Oh,
So, the fact
yeah.
that you said that out loud, somebody's probably gonna spend the $30 to go and buy it
Yeah.
on
Hold
you
on.
and
I'm going to go
try to.
mint it real quick. I'll sell it to you for a
Somebody's
thousand
gonna
bucks
have it
tomorrow.
for sale for like $300 in an hour. Just that's how the space works. I wish you didn't say that out
Wow.
loud.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, you definitely need to get it. That's
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let me hurry up before the price go up.
It'll be .eth, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it'll be like
Yeah.
double cats .eth.
So,
yeah, it'd probably
it's,
be like $50 or something.
yeah.
Okay, okay, for sure.
I think yeah, what you were just saying is really interesting. Like we're trying to think of what's like what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing some stuff cool, like some neat stuff bubbling up. A lot of it is not getting funded right now, is what I'm seeing, which is
Whoa.
frustrating, right? Like the funding stuff is all going towards like who can give you the best APR on your staked USDC, right? Like it's as frustrating as that is, like at ETH Denver, I saw a lot of that. Like, you'd walk, there'd be 15 presentations about literally that same product.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
yeah.
like, wait, what? Is nobody else, is all the creativity drained out of here? I'm like, I don't think so, because I'm seeing it. One cool thing about running Token Smart, which I'm trying to do some work on it now, but a lot of these artists and creators that went through Token Smart, like I keep in touch with them, they still talk to me, so they'll randomly jump into my DMs with some crazy idea or like, hey, I'm doing this. So I keep seeing that bubble up, and then if it's something I can help with, sometimes I will, or sometimes I'm just like, that sounds cool. Like, let me know when you get further, right? Like, so I see that, but not, most people probably aren't in that circle. So how would you see it, right?
Mhm. Right.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was. I mean, I thought by now we'd see Pokemon NFTs official from like Nantech or whatever. I thought something from the legacy would have adopted this through the proofs of concepts that we've had throughout all the years. Like we've had successful proofs of concept. It's there. It works. There's strategies that do work until unfortunately projects have rugged. But if these legacy companies were to take those models and run with it, we would have the stability of knowing they're not going to rug. At worst case, maybe somebody loses a multi-sig and they have to do like a fork or whatever. But we wouldn't expect like, them to just dump us, dump the supply and rug us if it's like Nintendo NFTs. Like I'm
Right.
curious like what your thoughts are, like what's holding back those players from getting into this space. Is it like legal issues? Is it credibility and branding issues? Or like
You
is
know
it
what? Yeah, actually, I think one thing that I've noticed being like I'll get hired and then let go when markets go down and like weird stuff like that. Like I think the biggest problem a lot of these folks have is that they only start building when the market's great and everything's like hyper and everybody's excited. As soon as things dies, they stop building. So, the only way you're ever going to catch the wave when it's up is if you built when it was down. Like by the time it's up, like if you start building then, by the time you're ready to launch, it's already on its way back down again. Like this is how cycles work. But big institutions, every time I've talked to one guy who was in touch, not Pokemon the game, but I guess because they have this Pokemon is owned by two different things. They actually all the toys, cards, and stuff. Is a different company in the game that did the video games.
Mm.
He was talking with the ones doing the cards and stuff because they were interested in trying to do a crypto project, and they brought in some advisors. They were working on it, and I remember it felt like they were moving, like they were conversations happening, and then the market started tanking, and then the minute it happened, they just cut all communications off. They're like, "Now we're not going to do it." So I feel like we keep seeing that happen. Like they'll dip their toes and they'll start, and then they'll see the market go down. They're like, "Nope, I'm pulling back. I don't want my shareholders to
That
see
happened
I
in the
made this
gaming
decision."
space the most for sure. I saw
Yeah.
some like Steam and stuff. I think it looked like Unreal Engine and Unity and stuff were kind of getting into like the crypto blockchain tokenization. And then yeah, bear market full stop.
Yeah,
It
so
was
it's
just a
frustrating seeing that because it's like how do you not see this? Like we've now, I've been through there's probably been 7 or 8 cycles since, I've gotten in like big cycles that are like massive, like earth change, like life-changing gains and life-changing losses. Like that's how crazy the cycles are. Like how can you not see this pattern that you have to be building when things are down to have any hope of succeeding when it goes back up? But
Right.
or just like
I,
overlapping technologies. Like there's like NFC tags and RFID stuff that's so cheap and affordable in mass production. Every Pokemon card could have an NFC sticker embedded in it, so nobody has to buy another fake Pokemon card again. It's
Mhm.
just
yep.
like a bridge has to be built between these technologies. IoT
Mhm.
needs to get more funding.
That's one of the best use cases for NFTs is to act as digital immutable certificates of authenticity because they guarantee scarcity, they guarantee authenticity, and they guarantee ownership at the end of the day. Like if somebody, if you have a Rembrandt in your home and somebody breaks in and steals it, they sell it on the black. There's always buyers for high end stolen art. If you get
Right.
your wallet hacked and lose a really expensive NFT, what's that person going to do? It could be tracked. Like whoever he sells it to, everyone's going to know that's the stolen NFT, and this person, like nobody's going to buy that NFT. It might as well be burned. So even just from that perspective, it's I think every piece of physical art on Earth should come with an embedded NFT just for this purpose alone.
Yeah, well, that's like I feel like the real power is going to be, well, the things that are going to make people like we've seen people become millionaires through some of the stuff. The stuff that's going to make people billionaires is going to be like the really boring shit. Like, oh, look, I do better reseeding for my receivables,
Mhm.
right? I'm like, that would be amazing on blockchain, but it's really boring, so nobody wants to build it. But
Right. Okay, I got a question. Because see, we're all like exciting builders and creators all us together on this podcast. And we're all in the Web3 space. So I'm wondering how can Token Smart and this podcast partner up and do something together to, make us both grow.
oh, right now, the focus I couple months ago, I started getting some ideas in my head with tokens because we've been doing podcasts and like music stuff, for 6 years. So I created a Token Smart
I thought it
Radio.
was
I set up
7.
what is it? We're in 2006, so we started 2019. Yeah, so that's 7 years. Yep.
Crazy.
Congrats,
Congratulations.
by the way. A year
Yeah,
longer than you
congratulations.
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
That's also insane that 2019 is 7 years ago.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. It's one of those like everybody that was doing it with me then, and I'm like, oh crap, we're all getting old now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Don't say
interrupt. I just wanted to throw you a year's worth of flowers.
that.
All of a sudden, really seeing my gray hair.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you go, so the website is tokensmart.co. I've
Mhm.
got right now it's like it's a front end. Some of it is like coming soon sort of stuff, but right now I've got the radio station. So it's a web radio station and I'm trying to aggregate a lot of the early music. So I've got right now like a couple podcasts. They play at set times during the day, but the radio plays 24/7. So you go there, it's got a web player. I was looking at connecting it to Spotify so it can be a Spotify station.
Oh, dope.
But
Mm.
because I've got hundreds of hours of live shows, podcasts. I've got all kinds of musicians that came up through space. So I've been talking to some of them.
Ooh.
They're giving me their discography from the past couple of years. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I just want a radio station that anybody can come hit the play button and just let it
Okay.
play.
Would you
Dude,
allow
I would
AI
definitely.
music?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's my first like go to market. Like this is like a fun way to get it. So because I really want to bring back the, everybody makes fun of the wag me vibes and stuff, but it's a real thing. Like everybody was excited. They were like, "Look at this cool thing I'm building. Oh, this
Right.
that's great. Like I want to try that." That was the vibe 2020, 2021. Like I want people to see that. That's why we're all excited. We're not excited now when we're all doom and gloom, right? Everybody's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I,
And
I don't think you heard me.
I
I don't think you heard me. Yeah, I was asking, what about AI music? Would you allow AI music on your platform and on the radio station?
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to promote, Web3 and like creator economy type stuff. So I'm like, I'm not against any of that. I use AI for a lot of stuff. Like the more I've started doing a lot more locally. I mean, I'm a developer and I'm also a tinkerer. I like playing with stuff. So I mean, I've built my own little like in-house LLM stuff. I play with PyTorch, train my own models. So I went further than I think I probably need to.
Mm.
But it's fun because it helps me understand it a lot better. So then when I'm doing higher level stuff, that I'm not I like to be able to talk about stuff intelligently before I offer an opinion about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That's fine. I like that sound of that. I'm glad to hear that you would allow AI music because I've pretty much produced a whole Bitcoin Cash AI music album. You know what I mean? And to
Yeah,
be able to promote Bitcoin Cash using your radio station and the AI music, I would love that. That would be amazing.
yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah, and on
Yeah,
top
I
for
of
mean,
that,
sure.
I'm down. I got 10 years worth of podcasts. I'm down to hook you up with that discography as well, man. Like, get that stuff out there. I've been interviewing people since 2016.
yeah, I know. I've been following you for a long time. You've talked to Rizzle and stuff. Him and I go way back. We were founders
Prank
and the
C
stuff he
too.
helped it.
Fucking
Oh yeah,
love Prank
Pranksy
C.
was early Token Smart. Pranksy actually was some of our like funding, things and stuff. He was
That's
giving us a lot
love.
of alpha to help us start. Like
I'm
it was
sure
interesting to
Oz the
start
crypto
start.
goat. I see you in the chat, bro. He's got a good discography as well. I mean, I'm sure like people in this space like would just donate their old content to the cause of like just spreading the gospel, so to speak. Like getting the education out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean the bigger play here is like if you go to the website you can log in and it creates an account for you. So I was thinking about like making a Token Smart ID because I've working with a couple other people. I've got a couple guys making games, I'm like, I don't know, maybe you want to make a Token Smart arcade. Well, I want you to be able to log in and use your credits from something else for here. Right now I can because by having it all aggregate to one thing, I'm trying to figure out how to collect analytics. So if I wanted to go get sponsorship, if I wanted to sell an ad spot on the radio, if I wanted, that's only got to work if I can be like, hey, I got 400 listeners, I've got 200 people playing video games, I've got 100 people who attend these events, I've got like that only works if I can get all that together and present it to
right, right,
somebody.
right.
So
Oh,
that's the
we're
bigger
gonna help you
play.
with that for sure. I'm definitely gonna provide you as much. I got a lot of crypto inspired music, that I created on the AI, and to be able because that music is gonna be more captivating and hypnotizing than my voice. You know what I mean? So like that's I'm looking forward to be able to put that out there like that for sure.
Yeah, right now, I mean, I've got some of it. I'm still working on aggregating like stuff. I've got like Louis C. Rhymes and Kane Mayfield gave me some stuff in Dope Stilo the other day, gave me some albums and stuff. I've got because we do in Token Smart, we have multiple shows we do. So Monday night we have like Easy's Corner where we have Easy and Crypto. He's a host. He'll bring like people trying to do like donation type goods, like he has a guy Jose who does like Brazilian rainforest conservation stuff. So they do like music and shows, but it's focused on getting money for that. Monday afternoons we have Spherical Art do like art curation stuff, so he shows new up and coming artists. We've got a couple shows like Thursdays. It's called the Whip Meetup. Rizzle likes to run it. It's the whip, so it's like when things break, he doesn't have to feel bad. It's like, hey, it's a work in progress. It's in the name of the show. So that's where he tries experimental stuff that ends up not working half the time. So,
Damn it.
so we got a lot of that sort of stuff. So it's fun just being in there for the shows and seeing what you can do. But yeah, this radio thing is more in a lot of it requires a lot of manual labor. You know that, Ken. Like a lot
I
people
was
don't
just gonna
realize how
ask
much
how, and even
effort
the
is.
cost, the infrastructure costs too, server costs and all that stuff. It's not free to have all that stuff available for people to just listen to for free.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, I mean, the radio is one that I'm just like, look, I'm going to ingest the stuff I want here. It's going to play 24/7 and it just plays. Like, you can tune in, you can listen, you can sign up. If you sign in, it keeps track of what you're listening to. If you don't sign in, that's cool. You can also just listen to the radio. But the idea is it's there. So then I'm going to hook it up to some other services. So at any point in time, you can listen to,
Yeah, I think
you know,
Spotify would be a good play for real. Because I mean,
yeah.
doesn't that work with like Uber and Lyft and stuff? You just hop in the Uber, hit your Spotify, and it
Yep.
takes over the driver's
Oh,
Oh
car.
I
yeah.
was testing it the other day because the web player works right now. I can in my car. I've been plugging it in and just let it play when I drive the kids to school and stuff. I'm like,
Cool.
there we go. It's working. Like, got
Hell
a
yeah.
radio station, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Do you
Wow.
I
know what
definitely
your
gotta hear my music on
audience?
the radio.
Yeah, right. Do you know what your audience looks like on there? Is there any analytics and stuff? Are you thinking about like monetizing it to like Web3 sponsors for ads and
I,
stuff? Or
that's exactly where I think the early like money is going to come from is like it's very easy to understand, right? Like if I sell an ad spot, one thing that I have thought is if I'm going to sell an ad spot on Token Smart Web3 radio, it's not going to be some bland like, robot saying, here, buy our herpes cream and you're going to be like, no, that's I'm not going to it's like if you've got a product that you want sold, like, buy an ad spot, give me your product and information, and I'll have one of my hosts, or I'll have Kane Mayfield's a friend of mine. It's like I'll have him read your ad. And it's
I
like, and
think I
that's the
just
type of ad I
invented
want on my
something
radio.
right now while you were talking in my head. I think I just invented some new technology. All right, so if you're listening to a radio station, you can't like scan a QR code. You can't really like, take your camera out and like have it do the link thing. Maybe somebody could develop a thing that's sort of like a QR code scanner, but it's an audible one. And we could use frequency pitching during radios to say, hey, take your phone out. It'll listen like sort of like Shazam or Soundza or whatever. It listens to
Wow.
the frequency and then it opens to the website. And that way it'll
Wow.
put in the referral code and all that metadata that you need, right?
Wow.
Somebody should invent a thing that listens to the radio so when an ad is going on, in the background, I can't hear it, but my phone can hear it, and it's and then my phone just opens to the website, sort of like scanning a QR code. I don't know exactly how to explain what I just invented, but I think smart people will hear it and
Yeah.
somebody will build it.
Yeah,
Dude, that
bro.
would be cool.
That was fucking genius, bro. Like you just struck again. Ken Bozak strikes again. What the fuck? Like I can see that clear as day. Being up riding on the radio and then just be able to press. All right, listen. Now your phone's listening to the radio, and now it automatically goes to the link that is advertised. That's perfect. Like
Right. With like that
that's
referral
genius.
code, discount code, all that already in the meta. I don't know
Yeah,
why my
yeah.
brain did that, but we were talking about it and I don't know. It just does things.
That could be cool as hell. I
Hey,
could see doing
Oz the
something like
Crypto
that.
Ghost said,
Yeah.
idea stolen. Steal it because
Done.
I just wanted to exist. I
Yeah.
I never try to keep cool ideas to myself because like I'm not a doer, I'm an end user. I really just want that stuff that I talk about to exist. So selfishly I can live with it and use it. But I have no interest in like profiting from an idea because I have no interest in actually doing the idea.
Straight up.
Yeah, man, that's
We need people like you. That's what makes the world work.
Steve Jobs to Steve Wozniak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Straight up.
dude, there's so much others. Yeah, I'm really excited for the Token Smart stuff. I'm trying to think other stuff. I'm like, so lately I've actually been working with a company called Asimov Protocol on their AI one. They're working on a personal AI intelligence system, and
Oh, you're
that's
about to
looking
get Russ's
interesting.
full attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all context graph based AI. So I don't know if you've looked at the because it's becoming a bigger hot topic thing right now where they say context graphs and
That's my
what that
favorite part of AI is context. I love that it can
right.
understand conversation through context. I hated early chatbots for like Ask Jeeves and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, the problem like
Siri or Alexa, for God's sakes. Like, yeah, I think it's definitely it's come a very, very long way. So I'm working on like an AI personal assistant essentially. It's built on top of Cloud Code. And the key is that it has persistence in terms of memory. So from one session to the next, it remembers you and it builds an identity. It actually builds a personality. It learns what your preferences are, how you like to operate. It eventually starts to anticipate your needs, and it looks for proactively try to find problems, and it really is remarkable. And the way that you can communicate with it is really like a person. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I talk to it like I talk to anybody, and it just understands me and it does what I ask, and it's it has a whole skill set around Netlify, so it has full autonomy. And so I give it domains, and it could just build websites. We work on it. I say, okay, move this here, change the color here, change this here. It just does it. And I say, okay, perfect. Upload it to this URL. Boom, it just does it. Like somebody asked me, what is it building in? CSS, HTML. I'm like, I don't know, and I don't care. The end result is the only thing I need, and it's perfect. And it's like what would take me working with a team of developers a week, I can do by myself with no coding knowledge in under an hour today. It's really like it's not just 10xing my productivity, it's almost 100xing, I feel like.
Oh
AI
yeah,
seems to fit like in everything like water. How does it fit into Token Smart and what you're doing?
Well, I'm using AI to help direct some of the stuff and try to get like some preliminary ideas on like how to like formulate things together. I'm really good at coming up with like top level ideas, but then I'm like either I get too far in the weeds and it never actually gets launched because I'm like so busy trying to like do it. Like AI's helped me cut through that stuff a little bit. Like, here's the global piece. Like I'll build half of it, and then I'm like, okay, AI, go through, clean up the rough edges here. It's like my UI sucks. I know it does. Like, take a look at it, tell me what's wrong, and give me some better
I
paths.
should just give AI all my good ideas and build my own little Parallax dev that could just take my ideas
Yeah.
and actually do it.
Yeah.
Open source. I'll open source everything too. Everything I make will be open source.
Okay, so just as an example, this came up in a conversation I was having with a friend, and we started talking about Monday.com. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're familiar with that site, but it's it's a $14 billion publicly traded company with 245,000 customers. And my Parallax, which is the name of my AI, he built a completely disruptible model in like, I don't know, 15 minutes with an entire plan of how to execute it, how to roll it out. And I'm telling you that like this is something I'm going to take on, and over the next few months, I'm building a replacement for Monday.com. I'm going to short their stock before I announce anything, but
Yeah.
it's going to be like the
That's
power of democratization is mind blowing. It's hard to wrap your head around the fact that in the past there were massive barriers to entry, specifically coding skill and knowledge that took years to accumulate and years more to master and perfect. And coders were always in demand, and today like it's over. There was one I shared this. I think I shared it with you guys. I can't remember. Anyway, one of the top coders on Twitter, followed by hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people. And he was asked the direct question. He was talking about ChatGPT, and he was asked the direct question today. How much coding are you actually doing? And he's like, zero. I don't code anymore. He's like, and I don't miss it. Computers always operated this way.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a really scary example of like this, use case. It came across my radar this morning. I haven't had a chance to throw it your way yet, Russ. But
Yeah.
worldview, worldview is the context of AI mapping. Refers to several advanced, often browser-based intelligence simulators and satellite imagery tools. Uses artificial intelligence to analyze, virtualize, and map Earth in near real time. Yeah. Go check out Worldview made by AI. Some dude basically made NSA level spy gear. Like you can hop into CCTV anywhere, you can see the weather anywhere. It's literally like that movie Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf or whatever. It's like a God's Eye map called Worldview. And some dude just made AI and put all these websites together, and now it's this like super advanced spy satellite map thingy. So that's the scariest thing that's come out of AI so far for me is like people are using it to put things together to make something that at some point would be impossible. Even though all these things existed, nobody was able to put it all together. AI said, "Oh yeah, these satellites, you have CCTV, you have this, you have Google Earth, you have that. I'll just make a cake out of it."
It's interesting because it's like there's so many there's so much fear and misunderstanding, right? It's like everybody I talk to is either like we're all gonna lose our jobs, we're all gonna starve to death, or Terminators are gonna kill us all. I'm like, there is no I feel like I don't think either one is really like the outcome. It's gonna change things. It is going to change stuff. There's gonna be some jobs are made obsolete, like not all jobs though. And there's like a lot of opportunity to figure out, but it's you're gonna have to think outside the box a little bit to find those opportunities, but they're not going away, right? Like the minute you start thinking that, you start feeling, what can I do? Like, oh no, the world's falling apart. I'm seeing that happen around me a lot. Like people who know it are like, oh, oh no, what are we gonna do? And other people are like, eh, it's not that big a deal. I'm like,
Well, it
no, it is a
depends,
big
right?
deal,
We look
actually.
how long it took for the internet to kind of kill the newspaper and the
Oh yeah.
magazine. Like they're hanging on, but and then we're seeing it at an exponential. So I could see the generational detachment being the case where it's like, oh yeah, no, this is the end of the world as I know it because I'm in my 40s or 50s, and at that point, it's kind of it feels too late to even get involved. So most people in the 90s when AOL, 56K dial up, like if they were in their 40s and 50s, they ignored it. And still to this day, the internet really isn't a part of their life. And I could see the same thing sort of happening with AI, blockchain technology, where like we're 1%, 2% mass adoption on the world scale. So the age may vary. But when we start to see like 51% mass adoption in the technology, it'll be people in their 20s or younger. And most of the world in their 40s, 50s, they'll ignore all of this technology as if it doesn't exist in their reality until they age out and it's the common nomer, right? Like we're starting to see that now with the internet. Most people that are alive right now use the internet. We're just
Yep.
starting to see our great grandparents who had the chance to touch it, but they were so old they ignored it. They're dying off. That generation is leaving us. I think we'll see a paradigm shift in the same way with this technology, AI and blockchain, where people are just we're just gonna have to age out of being alive. Like it's just we hold on to old ways as a majority. So this is all for the youth right now. People that are probably 16 or younger. That generation when they're my age, this will be just like the internet is to us now. Like I
Oh,
can't get a bottle of water without the water using the internet in supply chain or payment processing or something. A bottle of water uses the internet. An apple is using the internet. And I think very similarly through supply chain and everything else, we'll see AI and blockchain touching apples and bottles of water too. Just
yeah.
we'll be
I
ignoring
think
it.
I think to get through all this stuff, we're gonna need to. It's gonna be painful short term, just like every other major technology shift is. Like it's gonna be painful for some people, but I do feel like the other end is gonna be a really cool, interesting thing. Like I can already see some of the building blocks that I'm like in the future. You
Yeah.
just get up in the morning, you're like, you just say out loud what you want, and something just magically 3D prints it right there, and you've got it. Like
Well, there
I,
is there is one industry that has never seen benefits from any innovation in technology or anything. They've literally only have gotten screwed over, and that comes down to the farmers. And I feel like, unfortunately, even with this technology, they're getting just fucked over a little bit more when it comes to this stuff. Like, we have AI tractors, we have AI for watering and agriculture, and a lot of the machines don't even need a person to operate them now. They're like these self-driving, conveyor
Tractors.
machine. Yeah, tractor. It's just like I feel like how do we sort of make sure industries as a whole don't get left behind and unmanned, even if
dude,
it
I
feels like it doesn't make sense. Like it feels like stupid to have to go and grow and pick corn. Like, but that stupid job, somebody's livelihood. They love it. They've done it their whole like their families have done it. Just because a machine can do it better and make that farmer have more free time to do whatever maybe they wanted to pick corn with their free time.
Right, right.
well, now that I'm seeing it's interesting because now that we're seeing big institutional players come in, and now they're kind of taking over the Bitcoin Ethereum thing. Early on, that was one of my thinking was like, oh, this Ethereum, this is programmable money. Like this enables it to freely flow and stuff. Like this is the start of potentially a new monetary policy that makes sure that, maybe there's like you talk about universal basic income, like maybe that's something we need to actually be thinking a lot more seriously about because
Hmm.
what happens when you have a robot that can literally grow corn for free?
Yo, For real. And you
right?
mentioned this earlier a little bit with like all this stuff that we saw at ETH Denver. All the
Yeah.
AI trading, all the AI bots that can do arbitrage and stuff. Once that stuff really starts to kick in, we're gonna be a very stable, very linear market. AI
Yeah.
volatility will most likely not be a thing, and if it is, it'll be 1 second wicks. Like it's not gonna be 5 minute candle drops anymore. It's gonna happen. It's gonna recover. Linear will be the way. So like I feel like looking at like in the opportunities in this space, like while things are still volatile, we kind of got to get into it because AI arbitrage, AI trading bots and stuff like that, everything's going to be so linear that UBI will just be a byproduct of a stable economy.
Yeah.
It'll just be like the trash from the cyclical economy that AI creates will just be revenue. And then it'll be like, well, I guess we have to do something with this. Here, don't be homeless anymore.
Well, it's funny how you like now you're getting beyond like financial stuff. Now you're talking more philosophy where you're like, we all need to get it in our head that, it's like an hour of work is worth $20 or whatever your bullshit like calculations you're trying
Yeah.
to figure out. That needs to change just as a collective culture. We need to stop thinking that,
Hmm.
if you've got automated robots that are literally able to make it so resources cost zero to make, then why do I have to pay it all for them, right? Like you need to get it out of your head that it's like the only reason you deserve to eat is because you got up in the morning, you went into the office and you sat for 8 hours. Like
Well,
that's
yeah.
really hard, right? That's why nobody's talking about it. They're all these stupid freeloaders are going to take my money, right? Like that's everybody's in that mindset. And I'm like, you need to get out of that mindset if you ever want to move forward in this future economy we're talking about here.
I'm stuck in a mindset where I'm not going to own anything and I'm going to like it and it's going to suck at the same time because of the opportunities to have these machines do manual labor for me. Like, I don't know if Ford is going to sell cars in a couple years because it's such a lucrative business for like Uber and Uber Eats with this public transportation and delivery service that with self-driving vehicles, it just makes more sense for Ford to just make cars and employ the cars instead of selling the cars to other people to employ them, right? So if I can't buy the robot who does the job, then how do I get involved in that economy outside of the UBI? It's
I
good.
mean, I was
That's what I
thinking that
worry about.
about,
I can't
wasn't
own
that was
like
Tesla was going to do that, right? Like
yeah,
buy
that's
a
what got my
Tesla and
mind
just
thinking
sign up to
about
the
it.
app. It'll
Yeah,
drive for
eventually
you.
they're not going to let you do that, right? That's your planned obsolescence as a beta tester in that scenario. Like that is only there for you to make the environment possible for them to take you out of the equation.
Yeah,
Dun, dun,
Me and
dun.
Russ, me and
right.
Russ joke about this all the time. Whoever makes the 3D printer will rule the world. Or what is it? The thing
The
the
replicator, right,
the
on Star
replicator,
Trek?
yeah.
Yeah,
Whoever
man.
whoever
Very hot.
sells the replicator is going to rule the universe because
Yeah.
in the replicator you won't be allowed to replicate another replicator. That's going to be the only thing that it doesn't let you replicate. So when it breaks, you have to buy another replicator from the replicator guy.
Shit.
I don't, if you invented the replicator tomorrow, you better open source it and go into hiding immediately. Because if you try making a buck off it, you're gonna immediately get like Epstein to
Yeah.
secretly,
Yeah,
right?
no,
And
for
nobody's
real.
We'll be
everybody's
unalived.
just saying. Yeah.
And with AI, I feel like we're not far from cool shit like that. Like I think Russ, I already, he hears me complain about this all the time too. Now it's like AI used to be like the cure for cancer, and I really start to like as I talk about it more, I start to realize why maybe nobody's using it or talking about using it to cure cancer because they will fucking disappear. So I think maybe somebody is working with AI to cure cancer, but it has to be like done before they can
Yeah.
even say they did
Dude,
it.
dude, bigger, I mean, a realistic, scary situation that I'm actually thinking in my head that I've been seeing. I feel we need to. I mean, part of it is a plug for that Asimov because I like with the AI stuff. I'm trying to work in context that like is stored locally on your phone, so the data it's working with isn't in the cloud.
I like that.
Like this is important because I had a scenario in my head where I was like, okay, first time you're talking to ChatGPT and you're like, hey, I was in the shower and I saw this weird growth, right? You took a picture and you sent it to ChatGPT. why wouldn't your life insurance company call up and be like, hey, we just saw that. We're canceling your policy before you die?
They
'Cause
do it
that's
with
what,
Visa. If you buy
right?
cigarettes and you say to your insurance company you don't smoke, they're going to say, hey, Visa told us you buy cigarettes every Friday.
Right. Why wouldn't AI be like, hey, we heard you're having heart palpitations because you're anxious. Your health insurance
Or your
premium just
smartwatch.
went up.
Exactly. Yep, yep.
Like,
Mm.
why isn't it already doing that? It might be, right? Like, oh yeah, we heard you
No,
were
for sure.
drinking at a party the other day and then you drove home. Now your auto insurance is higher because they know you're driving drunk, right?
Mm.
Like,
Damn.
this is the
Okay,
invasion of privacy that's like,
yeah. We have
That's
a
gonna
couple of
happen.
kids. I
I
have
can see that
one
happening.
question that's completely unrelated to everything else, but it's been bothering me for the last hour. Are you saying that tokens are smart, or are you a mart for tokens? Which is it?
You son of a bitch. I was going to say that.
we're saying, yeah, it's like we're yeah, token smart. It was like one of those
And it can't be both.
you gotta be, yeah, you gotta be smart about your tokens and what you do with them, right? Like
I like that.
started as
Somebody
an
should do
education thing.
tokens mart next.
But the URL would be the same. That's the point, right? Like,
Right. You know, at one point I started actually on an online university because I was going to trade when we had funding and I had all kinds of like Gary V behind me because he would like promote it. Like I was trying to build an online university and I was calling it Token Smart University because it was TSU. I was
mhm.
like, dude, this is sweet. I had little logos made up with like, I'm like, I could slap that on a shirt. Like that looks badass.
See, that one's clear because then the S stands for smart. So then it's
Right.
token smart, right? You got some ambiguities. You could go either way depending on the audience.
That's so awesome. I guess we can kind of wrap things up. If you want to like let people know your socials, your Discord, your communities, stuff where people can get involved and join Token Smart.
Yeah, I'm Trislit. I'm Trislit in everything. I go out of my way to try to capture it on everything. My email's Trislit at Gmail, you know, my Twitter handle, Telegram handle, Discord handle, everything else. Uh, Token Smart, we have the vanity URL NFT. So on Discord, if you type in NFT, it'll drop you in Token Smart.
Cool.
The
That's
website
badass.
is tokensmart.co. We didn't get the .com because .co was the big one at the time. So it's tokensmart.co. And that's where you can see all the other links and everything we're doing with that.
Oh, you know,
Uh,
as a nerd who does nerd things, why haven't you used Unstoppable Domains or FIO or one of the other like browser-based alternatives in Web3? Just out of curiosity, you know, you seem to be hands-on with this nerd stuff, and I do complain about how we don't use enough. I don't even use it really, but like, why not Unstoppable for the website?
so you're right in that from a technical standpoint, a nerdy standpoint, where it's like that would be, but part of my mission with Token Smart is to get average normal people into a spot where it can be like a trusted community to learn more about the space. And anytime you start introducing that, I find it just turns people off. So
Yeah.
it's easier to just say, yeah, just go to a browser, type this in. Like it's basically that. Tokens actually with the website, you can go in like when you sign in, you can sign in with a wallet. It's secondary. The first one is Google Auth. Log in with your Google account. I'm not gonna mess with this and through throw you through a weird loop where you'll never actually get into the site, right? That's what keeps happening. So sign in with your Gmail account. If you want to make a donation, yeah, I have Stripe, pay it with a credit card, done, right? Like we need to start there and then we can go deeper.
Yeah, definitely. No, 100%. I would have been like, I should have asked that because I need to start using stuff like that too. But you're right. It's just hard to get people from Web 2 into Web 3 when they have to leap into Web 3 just to get started.
It took me years to learn that. Like I'm pretty nerdy and I like tinkering. No, most people aren't though.
All right, Trislit, thank you for your time. Everybody, thanks for watching. Shout out to Oz, the crypto goat, for being in the chat. Much appreciated, bro. Love you guys. It's tokensmart.co. This was Trislit, and I'll catch you guys. Check out the radio and have a day.
Awesome.
For sure.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get your Ken Bozak.